The state of salvation. Bible reading, Ezekiel 18, verses 23 through 28, and chapter 33, verses 11 through 16. The Bible asks, "What shall we say then? Shall we continue in sin, that grace may abound? God forbid. How shall we, that are dead to sin, live any longer therein?" Romans 6, verses 1 and 2. Richard was a close friend and seemed to be a godly example of a faithful Christian brother. Our only conflict in convictions was his persuasion that salvation is a one-time act, while I understood that it starts with spiritual rebirth but must be continually maintained. Several years passed before it was discovered that Richard had been involved in a number of serious crimes, none of which he had ever confessed and repented of. When confronted by the civil authorities, he fled to another state, where he lived for only a short time before an untimely death took him into eternity. Jesus told his disciples, "If ye continue in my word, then are ye my disciples indeed." John 8, verse 31. This indicates that maintaining one's standing as a disciple depends on continuing in his word. In the Old Testament, Israel was also warned that failure to continue in all of God's commandments and statutes would result in severe consequences. Deuteronomy 28, verses 15 through 68, enumerates the curses upon those who apparently thought their status as God's chosen people gave them a license to sin without it suffering for it. In our day of casual Christianity, do we really think God overlooks or deals lightly with the sins of those who profess to be His children? We need to be fully convinced that without exception, the wages of sin is death, Romans 6, verse 23, and that God is no respecter of persons, Acts 10, verse 34. Continuing heartfelt surrender to the Word and the will of God brings peace, joy, and victory that are a foretaste of the blessings in eternity that will someday be ours forever. The apostle says, "Hereby we do know that we know Him, if we keep His commandments." 1 John 2, verse 3.